Okay, hi guys. Welcome to Waiver Day presentation on Google Classroom. I'm going to take you through the steps to run Google Classroom as a teacher and how you can do that pretty seamlessly. Google Classroom is very intuitive, and I think you'll find once you start using it, you'll really like it and that you will have a lot of success with your kids. So how to find Google Classroom is the first step. If you go to the little grid on the upper right-hand corner of your Chrome window, you'll see this little grid. Click on it, click the word More, and then you'll see at the bottom Google Classroom, and click on Google Classroom. The first time I went into it today, I went to my Chrome window and clicked on my grid, and it wasn't there. I had to go to my mail and look for it, so you might have to do an extra step. So when you first sign into Google Classroom, you must sign in as a teacher. Now, Jeanette Kane has set that up so everyone's in there as a teacher first already. If you don't go in as a teacher first and you go in as a student, then you won't be able to create a class. And then you will be entering this class code when it's time for you to join our class today. So how to create or join a class. You go to that little plus sign next to your email address and click on either join or create. Today you're going to join my class, and hopefully you'll have time to create your own class. But you join my class by entering this class code 84BHZF9. And when you enter that class code and click join, you'll automatically get into the Waiver Day class. If you're creating your own class, you have a space to put the class name and the section. I recommend you being as specific as possible because eventually you may have many classes listed for, say, language arts. And so knowing what period it is or what section or what grade level, depending on what you teach, will help you in the end. Here's the Google Classroom homepage. Now you can see from my Classroom homepage, I have 3 active classes that are showing right now. And this is the class home button right here, which I'm going to talk about in the next slide. These 3 little dots, if you click on them, you can rename or archive your class. Archived classes are still there, but they cannot be accessed by your students until you bring them out of the archive. This plus sign allows you to join or create a class. This is your Google Drive folder where you can go and see everything that's in your class. Everything is saved in one folder with your class title in your Drive, and then you can see your number of students in your class. The Google Classroom Home button lists a lot of important details about Google Classroom for you. The first step right here, the first box right here says classes. All of your classes are listed there. Each class, I just have it. Each class has its own Google Calendar titled with that class name, so each student has access to that and their calendar list, and so do you. You can see any work that needs to be turned in or that you've assigned under work. When you no longer want a class in your class list, you can archive it. It's still there. It's not deleted. It's just that you don't have to look at it all the time. And this is your Google settings where you can change your profile picture or your account settings or notifications. So this is your class's homepage, and this is the homepage for today's class, the Waiver Day class. And as you can see, it's got the class home button. My name is up here. You can change your theme, upload a photo right here on the right-hand side. Please remember that Google Classroom can only be used with Google Apps for Education accounts, so you cannot use this with your regular Gmail account. These are the different pages that are in your class. The stream, which is kind of where you're going to post all your assignments, questions, announcements. This is your student page where you can see your student list and you can invite students to join your class. And this is your about page where it's kind of like your resource page. We'll talk about all 3 of these. On the left-hand side here, you can see what work needs to be done or turned in or is coming up. Your stream, you can show deleted items or not. You can turn them off. And your class code for students to join your class. And then we're going to talk about what this little plus button here is on the next slide. If you press this plus button, this is where it gives you the options of what you can post on your stream. Your stream is kind of like your blog or your feed. And your feed has different types of things you can post on it. The trickiest thing about the stream is that you cannot post things 1, 2, 3. So if you want to move something to be the first thing students see when they open up their Google Classroom page, you have to say you want that thing moved to the top. So instead of thinking about your post being the first post, second post, third post, if you want the post that's down here in the fourth spot to be up in the first spot, you have to click Move to Top. You can't just click and drag. I'm not really sure why. I wish Google would change that, but they haven't done that yet. So one of the things you can do on your stream is create a question, and all of these are set up pretty much the same way, so you'll kind of get the hang of it. The first thing you look at is the question. You write your question here. You have optional instructions. You can include a due date. If you do include a due date, it goes automatically on your Google Calendar. You can decide how students reply or respond. You can say they can respond to each other or not. You can say students can edit their answer or not. You can upload in different ways, attachments, drive, video, or a link. And then you can decide where you want your question to post to, which class you want it to go to, and then you click Ask. You can always trash that question if you decide you don't want it, or close it if you just want to look at it if it was already posted. You can also create an assignment. This is the most common form of posting on the stream. And it's set up the same way. Title of your assignment, instructions if you want to put instructions there, dates, different uploading capabilities, which class you want it to go into. Something new is that instead of clicking assign right away, if you click this little arrow, you can save it as a draft. And then once you've kind of completed it, you can assign it, because you can't go back in and edit your assignment once you've posted it. If you want to make a change to that assignment, you then have to trash it and start over. So here's what the assignments look like up close. This is an assignment I created for one of my classes I did with the gun teachers, where they had to read chapters 6 and 7 in a book. So I had the due date. I could see who had finished it and who hadn't finished it, which sometimes can be deceiving because students or teachers don't know how to turn things in, which they need to learn and practice doing. And then you can add a class comment, or students can add a class comment if you give them those permissions. So differentiating student assignments, this came up a lot when we were doing this PD at Gun, because you want students to be able to get the work that's appropriate for them, and how can you do that? Well, a few ways to do that are listed below. One of the ways is blend space, and you're going to see a little video on that on the next page. A second option may be to upload many different options in the assignment. They can watch a video, they can go to a website. It's similar to blend space. Blend space just kind of puts it all together in one for you. You can also offer choices on how students can show what they know. So giving them different choices of what they can do for that. And you can make private comments on their assignments so that you can see, give them specific instructions. So instead of saying, they need to write 5 paragraphs, say these couple students need to write 3 paragraphs, or making it able to be differentiated for those students. This is the website I was telling you about called BlendSpace. You can collect multiple methods of teaching a subject matter, and it can be automatically shared in Google Classroom with the click of a button, which is pretty cool. And the bonus is that it's free. So I want you to watch this video for a minute. The link to BlendSpace is right here. You can sign in with your Google account if you want to, and check it out. When you're all done, go to the next slide and we'll continue with the presentation.